Peace. Think fast. One of my little favorite stories. If y'all familiar with my channel, then y'all probably done heard it. Whether I did a video just on this story or I have regurgitated it in other videos. But and this speaks to, it indirectly speaks to how all is the mind. But from a standpoint of how, when you get into fear, how fear manifests into the physical. But it's a story of a yogi, yogi is meditating in the outskirts of a little town. As he's sitting there meditating, you got this harmful disease personified, this harmful disease about to walk into the city. He's like, and the yogi is stopped and like, wait, hold on, whoa. You're not about to come into, this area that I'm, tend to, or this area that I'm in, and kill off all these people, and give these people disease. He's like, man, look, he's like, how spiritual work. I gotta go through here, like, how can I say, under contract of debt, quote unquote. I gotta come and take 2 people, you know what I'm saying? But all I'm coming for is these 2 people, you know what I'm saying? And he ran it back to the yogi again, like, hey, bro, you know how this process goes. This is, divine order. So the yogi was like, yeah, you're right. He's like, well, all right. Only the 2 people you came for, you know what I'm saying? Come get those 2 people, and be out. So, come the next day, he let the deadly disease pass, bam, everything happened. So come the next day, the yogi go into the town, and he sees or hear about that, like, almost like 14 or 16 people, transition because of this disease. So, he hurry up and, go run and go track down this, the disease. He's like, hey, bro. He was like, man, we had a little agreement. You was only going to come in and take 2 people, you know what I'm saying? And here I come to the town this morning. You done took like 14, 16 people. He was like, bro, it's, I'm not responsible for the fear of others. He was like, I took the 2 people that I had to take, but because of fear, the other people fearing, me taking the other 2 people that they saw me take, their fear created the disease within themselves, so they end up acquiring the disease through their own fear, but I did not touch them. So in so many words, you know what I'm saying, like, they didn't even catch the disease as much as they feared, there's just a fear-based person to where once they saw one person drop dead or, or have a certain situation, it's like, oh wait, is something wrong with me now, and then they end up passing away. So, I love telling that story because, just that simple moral of, it's the fear that, it's our mind that creates everything, you know what I'm saying? But, that fear is what, holds you back and what could turn into something physical, you know what I'm saying? If it's very strong within you, you create a situation to be fearful about. It's false evidence appearing real. So everything is false. Those people, other than the 2 people that actually got touched by the disease, those other people, it was false evidence appearing real. They didn't have the disease. They didn't get touched by that disease. But because they're so fearful and so in their minds that, they created that disease for themselves, so they end up having a transition as well, I always felt about AIDS and cancer. It's like, you tell a person that, hey, you got so much, you got cancer, you got AIDS, then it's like they get depressed. With that depression, the mind, as above, so below. Once the mind has a certain vibe of like, all right, y'all, well, fuck, it's over, then it sends that message to the rest of the body, like, hey, y'all, fuck it, it's over. You know what I'm saying? Let's just start dying. That's literally what happens, especially for the AIDS situation, because I never, you don't really see, like, from my experience, I don't really see a lot of people, like, actually dying from it, and then, quote unquote, like, they say this one, that one got it. I tend to think about how many people walking around with it, quote unquote, that's living life and, seem like nothing is happening. Then 2, on another note, to bring another little light into this. You know how my videos go. But how they got which this is more just pointing to possibly conspiracy, but like how they looked at Eazy-E. If y'all familiar with Eazy-E from NWA, he still say died of AIDS or whatever, but then they, like, this many years later, they looking at his wife, his kids, and everybody, and it's like, why nobody, like, if he had it and he was interacting with his family and all these people, why he's the only one that had it, So it's just raising that little question about that situation. But back to the wholeness of the situation, stay away from the fearful place. If you find yourself being scared of anything, we tend to think that we got this construct of like, that fear always got to be packaged as like something physical, like a monster, or like something that say for instance, me being a people pleaser is stemming from a fear, Of course not on a normal place again, because we always tie fear to like, being scared of something on a level of like that level. But nah, it's like, it's sneaky little things, like being a people pleaser is being fearful of not say fearful of it's fearful of the reaction or the energy that comes with telling the truth, you know what I'm saying? But it's still a fear nonetheless, you know what I'm saying? So again, you finding yourself being scared to speak up about something, you finding yourself being scared to do any aspect of your life, and of course, because we're vibrations on the human experience, a little of that, that lower vibration of our humanity is gonna be kind of scared, in essence, to step into these God places. But the more you meditate and eat healthier, the less, your body have that type of negative influence on, stepping forward and stepping into your dreams, and then I say dreams with soul purpose, and stepping into what you really feel you came down to physical to deal with. But again, the fear, killed the whole village. So it wasn't that disease that caused those other people to transition. It was their fear that caused them to transition. And that's just the case for a lot of people, what I'm saying? It's a fear, You fearing getting shot or getting shot at. It's, if you constantly take on that train of thought, then you're gonna create a situation to use that gun. And I'm one of the people where I'm not, that balance place, I'm not yay or nay for weapons, you know what I'm saying? To each his own, whoever, feel right, wrong, whatever with them, what I'm saying, to each his own. But for myself, I just, in my own experience, I just felt like I was creating mental pictures of having to use it to the point where it's like, it don't make sense. Kind of like on some Final Destination stuff anyway. Your time is your time, Of course, we're on a physical plane and you have to take care of your physical, but you could take care of your physical by having the right internal vibration, you know what I'm saying? And you don't have to have a gun if you're vibrating on such a frequency that you don't even attract a situation to have a gun for. That's what a lot of people don't get where I'm coming from when I speak that, hey, you don't need a gun, or put the gun down. And of course, I always speak to though the vibration of, though it depends on where you're at vibrationally. You could grow into that place of not, feeling the need to have one, but it does take that growth. Because if you're fresh from thinking that you have to shoot somebody to survive, then yeah, that's gonna take a while. And back to my Final Destination point, like Final Destination where the people dodged quote unquote death, but then they still came around from. Like, all right, say you shoot the person that like you preserve your life for a certain situation, then you could choke on a cookie after you just got into that little shootout, or by getting into that shootout, you create a certain type of karmic cause and effect where, the families of the people that you dealt with, still, they want revenge or whatever the case may be. So, what was I? The Final Destination vibe, just that, when it's time to transition, it's time to transition. And I always bring up too, your gun is what you believe in over your God self. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what DMT and the psychedelics, it helps strip you down of that physical nature where you see like, man, it's all about the energy that I maintain within myself. Like, I only need a gun if if internally I'm vibrating on a frequency to attract the situation that I would need to use a gun for. You know what I'm saying? That's the only reason I would need a gun. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, it's taking care of the internal vibration. And again, it's a growth for everybody. Because I think about the brethren, man. Shout out to this brethren. Y'all definitely go check them out. Because again, we all on different aspects of this growth. One person's job is to bring forth feminine energy and information. One of us is to bring forth a lot of crystal information more than, one of us is meant to talk about the Kabbalah, or one of us meant to talk about astrology more. And some of us are meant to bring in the human aspect into our spirituality. Like, some of us are meant to tell, I think about the brethren, Derek Grace, the Tatted Mentor. Y'all definitely go check him out or follow him on Instagram. The way he, like, again, I'm a person that don't, and that's real. Like, well, I'm a person that, again, being balanced though, because I'm not one to deal with the guns myself, but to each his own on that vibe. And I kind of, I respect and love the way he deals with it with his family. Like, his little children, like, know how to tell the different caliber rounds and stuff like that. Like, because I get where he's coming from. You know what I'm saying? So at the same time, as much as I wouldn't, if I'm dealing with my kids, I would be trying to handle metaphysical guns. Like, I'm trying to teach them how to shoot chi energy out their hand instead of pick up. Like, if I'm going to teach some type of, dealing with weaponry, it's going to be with your internal weaponry and not, outside weaponry, But at the same time, it all goes into the play because it's different levels of all this going outside, But at the same time, you don't want to get too caught up into the physical aspect of what's going on, because a lot of the tricks of what's being thrown our way is to just lock us down in the physical nature, depend on phones and guns and just all these physical things instead of working with. And it's a balance, working with your spiritual aspects as well as, you're in the physical, so of course you're going to deal with your physical, as well. But, again, just in full circle, just keeping the fear away, because the fear mind frame is, what being fearful and holding that thought is what manifests the thing that you are fearful of. You're scared, I don't know, whatever the situation may be. I be trying to think of that situation on the fly, but if it's not that, it's not meant. But just realize how fear could manifest so strong and to stay away from it. Meditation, eating healthy, all these things help with that. And again, it's just me sharing that story. It's one of my favorite stories with explaining how, again, in the cyclomancy talk about this as well. Like where they did the experiments. I posted this on Instagram. They did the experiments on syphilis and people with a certain type of dementia, and realized, like, wait, this is all caused from their mind. Their mind, creates a situation that seems like a sickness, and it's really the mind that created the whole situation. So just keep that in mind. Peace. Happening now. Now it's a vibrate, of course. Not going too far in the future. Not going too far in the past.